Book summary: The Boomerang, a thriller by Robert Bailey. Title: The Boomerang, a thriller. Author: Robert Bailey. Genre: political thriller, medical thriller. Overview: The Boomerang is a gripping political thriller that explores the intersection of personal desperation and systemic corruption. It follows Eli James, the Chief of Staff to the President of the United States, as he uncovers a government conspiracy involving a secret cancer cure withheld from the public to protect powerful interests. Bailey's narrative delves into themes of ethical dilemmas, the influence of Big Pharma, and the lengths a father will go to save his child. 1. The catalyst: when personal crisis meets political intrigue. At the heart of the story is Eli James, the U.S. President's Chief of Staff and a man caught between unwavering public loyalty and private despair. The novel opens at a precarious moment. President Lionel Cooper has been diagnosed with terminal colon cancer, a secret known to only a handful of people, including Eli. The president, known for his populist appeal and reformist image, is believed to have months to live. Then, inexplicably, the president recovers. Around the same time, Eli's teenage daughter Bella is diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. As a father, he is devastated. As the president's most trusted advisor, he begins to suspect that the cure the president received may not have been a miracle, but the result of a top-secret medical project. This is the story's inciting incident, one that shifts the narrative from political maneuvering to desperate action. 2. Characters: flawed, real, and righteously complicated. Eli James, as protagonist. Eli is deeply sympathetic, a seasoned political insider and devoted single father. His transformation is central to the novel's momentum. He begins as a man of rules and protocol, but as Bella's condition worsens, he abandons his allegiance to the administration, risking everything to uncover the truth. Eli's arc is both political and moral. He wrestles with guilt, anger, and the agony of having to choose between loyalty and love. His descent into rebellion is not heroic in the conventional sense. He's scared, often unsure, but driven by something more powerful than ambition, the instinct to protect his child. President Lionel Cooper. Cooper is charismatic, complex, and morally ambiguous. Initially seen as a reformer, the revelation that he agreed to suppress a cancer cure, choosing national economic stability over transparency, casts a long shadow over his legacy. He isn't a clear villain, but rather the embodiment of utilitarian decision-making. His justification? If cancer is cured, the collapse of Big Pharma and its billions in tax revenues would spark a global economic meltdown. He sees himself as a necessary evil. Bailey challenges the reader to decide if he's right. Nestor the Beast Sanchez, a ruthless land baron and arms dealer, Sanchez is an unexpected ally. Initially introduced as a dangerous recluse in the Southwest, his own tragic past, his wife died of an undiagnosed illness, makes him sympathetic to Eli's cause. Redemptive. Sanchez injects grit and unpredictability into the narrative. He's a character shaped by loss, vengeance, and buried morality. 3. Themes: deep, dark, and devastatingly human. The cost of secrecy. Project Boomerang, developed in a Black Ops medical facility in Nevada, is not just a cure for cancer. It's a metaphor for forbidden knowledge. The treatment, derived from a rare desert fungus and advanced nanotechnology, promises universal healing, but is classified as a national security threat. The justification? If released, it would destroy the global economy, destabilize entire industries, and collapse healthcare systems worldwide. It raises chilling questions. Should life-saving knowledge ever be hidden? And who gets to decide? Parental love as a revolutionary force. The emotional engine of the story is Bella. Eli's love for her pushes him past every boundary: legal, moral, professional. He betrays the president, breaks federal laws, and partners with criminals. His devotion humanizes the thriller. It adds stakes that are personal, not just political. Power and accountability. Bailey also interrogates how power is wielded. Through scenes involving high-ranking officials, Big Pharma lobbyists, and shadowy military contractors, the novel shows how bureaucratic decisions are often made in cold, boardroom-like detachment. It's not that evil wins, but that indifference prevails. 4. Structure and pacing. A tightrope walk between intimacy and action, the novel moves with breakneck speed, but what makes it compelling is Bailey's balance between action and introspection. Short chapters, cliffhanger endings, and shifting POVs keep the momentum high. But woven through are quieter, gut-punching moments: Bella's laughter during a chemo session, Eli's late-night panic attacks, Sanchez's memories of his wife. The pacing alternates between political drama, White House power plays, backroom deals, medical mystery, Project Boomerang's origins, family drama, Eli's bond with Bella, and fugitive thriller, as they go on the run from federal agents. 5. Symbolism. The boomerang as metaphor. The title itself is rich with meaning. A boomerang is a weapon that returns to its thrower. This is the perfect metaphor for the novel's central tension. Actions that seem pragmatic at first, like hiding a cure, circle back with consequences. In a broader sense, Eli's story is about blowback, the moral cost of compromise, and how decisions made in the name of security can come back to haunt those who make them. Sanchez also embodies this theme. Once a war profiteer, he now uses his wealth to challenge the very system that made him rich. You throw evil into the world, he tells Eli, and eventually it comes back. 6. Style and language. Cinematic yet heartfelt. Robert Bailey's prose is lean but textured. He writes with journalistic clarity, but doesn't shy from emotional resonance. For instance, the cure existed. He knew that now, not just as a whisper or a theory, but as a monstrous, undeniable truth. And knowing it, living in a world where it was hidden, felt like suffocating in plain air. Dialogues crackle with tension. Medical and political jargon are handled accessibly, never slowing the story's flow. Bailey uses setting effectively. Washington, D.C. feels like a cold fortress of secrets, while the New Mexico desert represents both exile and sanctuary. 7. The ending, bittersweet and thought-provoking. Without spoiling the final chapters in full detail, The Boomerang does not offer a tidy resolution. Eli's efforts force the government's hand, and Project Boomerang is eventually leaked to the press. But the backlash is immediate. Markets crash, pharmaceutical giants retaliate, and political careers are destroyed. Bella receives the cure, but not before significant deterioration. Her recovery is partial, uncertain. And Eli? He becomes a fugitive hero, both celebrated and hunted. It's not a happy ending, but it's real. Bailey leaves readers with the disquieting truth. Sometimes justice and peace are not the same thing. Final thoughts. Why the Boomerang matters. This is a thriller with teeth. But more than that, it's a novel of conscience. Bailey does not merely entertain, he interrogates. He asks, what would you do to save someone you love? Can a lie ever be moral if it saves lives? Who decides who lives and who dies when economics are involved? The Boomerang is a bold, character-driven tale that unpacks the hidden costs of secrecy, the power of parental love, and the haunting consequences of choosing the greater good over individual lives.